have Mr. Sumit, Congress MLA, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Sumit, we're seeing visuals on our screen. Even as the issue is taken up in the Supreme Court, there are protesters who are holding prayers.
Yeah, well, they're praying, aren't they? They're not protesting. So you call them protesters. I call them peaceful people who've gathered in assembly for prayer. So, I mean, this is a viewpoint that you need to clarify on your channels.
Do they have permission for it, Mr. Sumit? You are the MLA from the area. Do they have permission for this congregation?
It's a free country the last time I checked, didn't it?
Okay,
do they need your permission from your studio?
This is not a protest.
If they are praying, you're saying they are praying, then they are praying, right? They're not protesting.
Okay, so you're saying that there's nothing wrong with this.
When are praying become protesting? Kindly clarify.
No, I'm asking you. Are you saying this is fine?
No, I'm on the phone. You are seeing the visuals. You said they're praying. Then how are they protesting?
So you're saying this is acceptable. You're from the area. In fact, the charge against you is also that you are also fanning these flames. This is an issue that has been settled in the court.
In the Honorable Supreme Court, in this temple of justice, and we're also praying here that we get justice. How am I fanning anything? You are fanning. Your channels are fanning.
Okay, so you're praying that justice is given out. So why do you think that the Uttarakhand High Court did not give justice?
That your Noida channels are doing?
All right, Mr. Sumit, can you answer the question? I'll listen to your charge, but please do answer. Do you think that the Uttarakhand High Court did not give justice to these people from the area?
I cannot comment on the High Court. We have moved to the Supreme Court. We believe in the due process of law, and we believe justice will, will be delivered at the end, and we will get that justice. And that is my belief, and that is my hope, and that is my prayer.
Okay, so whatever the Supreme Court says will be accepted.
It is the law of the land, isn't it, the Supreme Court? We have a mountain of evidence that we shall present before the Honorable Supreme Court, and we believe in the due process of law, and we believe that we will win from the Supreme Court.
Okay, all right. Your words are very important. I'll tell you why. Because several of these protesters say that no matter what the verdict is, we're going to continue our protest until death. So that's why your words are extremely important. You're somebody who has backed these protests. You're saying that when the Supreme Court gives its verdict, no matter what it is, we're going to accept it.
You are saying they're praying. Now you make them protest. They held 2 peaceful protests to wake the state government. Nobody's protesting against the High Court. Everybody who's been protesting has been protesting against the state government for their non-presence on the ground, for their non-presence, non-representation in the courts, because most of this land is Nazul land, that is government land. And if the state government wanted, they could have easily proved it. But they did not represent their people. They did not take interest in their own land in any of the courts, in any of the hearings. So their protests are directed at the state government, not the High Court. Kindly please clarify the situation and stand.
Okay, I'm taking your word for it, and you're issuing that clarification. But this MLA from Haldwani says that these are not protests, these are peaceful prayers that are going on. We are only challenging the Uttarakhand, not the High Court's order, but only challenging or questioning the government and power in Uttarakhand.
My Ram Ram to everyone. When we talk about Congress, especially, this is one political party who has always played the game of appeasement. And in this game of appeasement and the standing placard of being victim, they are using small children. They use women in it. So this shows the way they do the dirty politics. For them, any legate matter doesn't matter. Legality doesn't matter. For them, encroachment is absolutely legal. Instead of providing them and giving them directions that what they can do legally, they are standing with this crowd that, yes, of course, whatever you have done correct. And you can use your children in this chilling cold. And you can use your women out there. So these cowards, Congresses, these cowards, and Samajwadi Party, a member of parliament was also there yesterday. Who are these people? These are the blood-sucking politicians who just want to survive, who just want to thrive on these innocent kids. So that is absolutely unfortunate. And these people who are public representatives, they are not honoring what the Honorable Court has said or given the verdict. If they really want that this country should be the land of law and everything should go legally and in a proper, transparent manner, then they should not do this thing. On one time, they are standing with these people. Another time, they are standing with the Rohingyas. This country is being flooded by such illegal immigrants, and these political parties, they give them space to settle down. So definitely,
Okay,
this
let
is
me
not
take a
going to
response from
happen.
Sumit. Sumit, the charge against you is that...
Unbelievable response
Yes.
from the honorable, or I don't know, her language was not so honorable, so I don't know, but the BJP spokesperson. It's very unfortunate that they use these words like blood-sucking and kind of...
No, respond to the charge that, when a verdict is given by the court, it's not being followed because of political leaders who are supporting these protests, and also the charge that women and kids are being used to front these protests that can have a law and order situation.
Women and children are coming out seeking help because their homes might be demolished. I mean, it is a very human trait. They're not doing something inhuman or out of the ordinary. It's a very natural response to the calamity they find themselves in. And I am standing at the Supreme Court of India, I'd like to remind you, seeking justice. And we believe justice will be delivered, and we believe in the due process of law. And the law of the land shall prevail, and the Constitution, the values of the Constitution shall prevail. That is why we are here, and that is what we hope for.
Okay, just want to ask you, why do you think that, the Uttarakhand High Court, when it gave its verdict, gave it in favor of the encroached areas to be completely cleared? What do you think is going to be different in the Supreme Court?
See, there was a mountain of evidence that we have gathered. Unfortunately, all the protests, all the disillusionment is with the state government, not with the honorable courts. State government failed to represent its own citizens, and your BJP spokesperson is saying illegal immigrants. Find me one illegal immigrant. These people have been living there for 100 years, 70 years, 50 years, 20 years. This is just their toolkit to describe any calamity or situation that has fallen on human beings. It's a humanitarian crisis, and we are here for humanity, for all of humanity and for all of India. So all this venom that she is spewing is most unfortunate and should not be allowed on your channel. Okay,
so, the fact that you are leading the protest or, the fight of the residents there, just want to take in your word one last time. When the Supreme Court gives its verdict, you're going to appeal to the residents to follow the law of the land and listen to what the Supreme Court says, whether the verdict is in favor or against.
Wouldn't you? Rather than just assuming things, wait for the verdict, wait for the due process of law in which we all believe. And whatever Supreme Court dictates, we all, as citizens of India, have to abide by it.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sumit, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. We're keeping a track of what's happening. Now, more